The movie begins with a scientist working on a ragdoll known as Stitchpunk. He places it on a machine and a talisman in front of him. The doll hangs on the machine and it's pushed to the ground by some wind. The doll, which has the number 9 on its back, stands up and learns to walk. It picks up the talisman and sees the scientist dead on the floor. 9 walks to the window, and as he looks out, he sees that the world has been left in ruins. He sees someone walking at a distance and tries to call the person but cannot speak. 9 puts the talisman inside himself and rushes out of the building. While walking, 9 sees the light coming toward him and he hides. 9 attacks the light but realizes it's another Stitchpunk. The Stitchpunk, which is number 2, realizes that 9 is like him, and he admires his appearance. 9 signals that he can't speak, and 2 takes him to his wagon where he has various materials. He finds a functioning voice box, places it in 9, and adjusts it until 9 can speak. 2 sees the talisman in 9 and he gets excited, and they hear a strange noise. 9 asks if they're alone and 2 tells him they're not. The sound gets louder and 2 instructs 9 to hide in a can while he holds a spear. 2 gets attacked by a cat beast and it knocks him down. It picks up the talisman in the can where 9 hides and shakes. The cat beast rushes to the can to attack 9, but 2 distracts it and it captures him. It walks to a strange building and 9 walks around while he is injured. Meanwhile, another Stitchpunk watches as 9 collapses. 9 wakes up in a strange room and sees 5 working on him with scissors. 5 calms down and tends to his injuries. As they talk, 1, the eldest Stitchpunk, walks in, scolds 5 for leaving the building and says he could have led the cat beast to them. 9 informs them that the beast took 2 and 1 says it's hopeless trying to save him. 8, a large Stitchpunk, walks in with a knife and follows 1's instructions. They go to the top of the building and 1 tells 9 the story of how the world was in chaos when they woke. The Stitchpunks were on a battlefield and the humans were fighting against giant machines. The machines attack humans with toxic chemicals and kill all living organisms on the planet. 7, the only female Stitchpunk, asks the others to follow her, but 1 refuses and makes them follow him. They get into an accident and 5 loses his eye. 1 informs 9 that they've been hiding in the sanctuary ever since and are waiting for the cat monster to fall like the other robots. 1 assumes that 2 is dead and strikes his name on paper. 9 tries convincing him that 2 might still be alive, but he refuses and tells them to go to the watchtower. 6 sits in the room and he makes drawings that are similar to the talisman. 5 and 9 arrive at the watchtower and 5 feels bad because he and 2 are friends. 9 sees the building where 2 was taken and tells him that they can save 2. 5 refuses because of 1's instructions and 9 informs him that 2 would have taken the risk if he were the one who got captured. 9 walks away and 5 takes the map and joins him. They walk out of the building and as they walk through a field, the wind blows the map and they run after it. They arrive at a tunnel and see the cat beast's footprints. 5 takes a light bulb from an old car and 9 uses it to make a torch. They walk into the tunnel and arrive at an abandoned factory. 5 and 9 enter the factory and find 2 trapped in a cage. 5 wakes him up while 9 sees the cat beast. It attacks them and 7 arrives and decapitates it. 9 picks up the talisman and sees a strange machine that matches its design. 9 places the talisman in the machine and it lights up. 2 tries to remove the talisman because they don't know what the machine will do, and the machine activates. He pushes 9 away and the talisman takes 2's soul. The machine reveals the fabrication machine, and 9 and the others run away as it gets up and attacks them. It attempts to take 7's soul, but gets distracted by 5 and 9. They eventually escape the factory, and 9 apologizes for activating the fabrication machine. The factory suddenly begins running, and the fabrication machine creates a winged monster. 7 takes 5 and 9 to an abandoned library, and they meet 3 and 4, who are twins. They're unable to speak and communicate by flashing lights at themselves. 7 asks for their help, and the twins flip a book and reveal an image of the machine. They take 9 and the others to a different part of the library where they show them the story of how a dictator revealed the fabricator machine, which is built to create new machines. The machines turned against the humans and destroyed the Earth. 9 informs the twins about the talisman, but they don't know what it is. He draws the talisman and 5 informs him that it's similar to 6's drawings. 9 suggests they return to the sanctuary and check 6's drawings, but 7 refuses and leaves. 5 and 9 return to the sanctuary, and while looking through the drawings, 8 apprehends them and takes them to 1. He scolds them and informs them that their mission has endangered them. 9 asks why 1 sent 2 to scout the area when he's one of the oldest Stitch Punk. 6 walks to them with one of his drawings and informs them they'll have to return to the source. 9 doesn't understand what he means, and as he asks about the talisman, he orders 8 to take their belongings. 9 calls 1 a coward and says he is guided by fear. The winged monster breaks into the sanctuary and causes a fire. 8 tries to fight it, but it knocks him down and they try to escape. 9 gets separated and the winged monster follows them as they run outside. 8 hangs on a piece of wood, and as the winged monster flies to him, 9 blocks its view. 7 arrives and tries decapitating it, but it hits her away. It shoots a needle attached to a cable and hits 7's leg. 8 cuts the cable and it gets attached to a propeller. 5 and 6 activate the propellers, and as the winged beast is dragged in, it holds on to 1's cape. 9 tells 1 to take off his cape, and as he removes it, the winged monster falls into the propeller and is destroyed. 9 and the others walk away from the sanctuary as it burns down. They arrive at the abandoned library. A surveillance machine made by the fabricator returns to the factory and gives the fabricator machine the winged monster's head. The fabricator machine gets angry and decides to use 2's body to create a monster. 6 and the others compare a picture of the talisman to his drawing. The twins show them a book where a man uses alchemy to transfer his soul into a doll. 1 walks in and tells them what they're doing is pointless. 9 realizes that 1 knows something about the talisman and refuses to talk. He accuses 1 of sending 2 out to die, and 1 informs him that they have to make sacrifices to survive. 7 gets angry and attacks 1, but 9 intervenes. 7 gets upset, running out of the building. 1 informs 9 that the path he's on will lead to catastrophe, and he walks away. 8 hears a strange noise outside and he goes to see what it is. He sees 2's body and it hypnotizes him by flashing lights in his eye. 1 walks alone and 2's body moves toward him. He screams as it hypnotizes him and the seamstress monster abducts him. 5 and 9 arrive and 7 attacks the seamstress. She tries to stab it, but it abducts her and leaves with her and 8. 1 regains consciousness and says they must find a safe place to hide. 9 refuses to remain in hiding and 1 reminds him of 2's death. 9, 5, 6, and the twins take 2's body and give him a befitting burial. They arrive at the factory and 9 decides to go inside alone. He instructs 5 to destroy the factory if he doesn't return, and he runs inside. 5 wonders how he will destroy the factory, and he gets an idea when he sees a barrel of oil. 9 sneaks into the factory and watches as the fabrication machine takes 8's soul. He comes up with a plan and distracts the seamstress with his light bulb. The seamstress gets attached to some spinning gears, and 9 rescues 7 as it gets destroyed. Meanwhile, 1 gets impatient and wants to destroy the factory with 7 and 9 inside. He argues with 5 and they get spotted by a surveillance machine and it sounds the alarm. 7 and 9 run out of the factory and are pursued by some arachnid monsters. 5 lights the barrel and pushes it down. The surveillance machine falls into the tunnel and 7 cuts through it. They escape the factory as the barrel of oil enters and explodes, destroying the factory and the machines. 9 and the others see the destroyed factory and begin listening to music as they celebrate. 7 thanks 9 for his help and 1 sits as he watches the factory burn. 5 tries to pull out a music record and it rolls down the hill. He follows it, and as he tries to retrieve it, he realizes that the fabrication machine survived the explosion and is coming toward them. 5 runs back to the others and tells them about the machine as it catches him. It takes his soul, and 6 realizes their souls are trapped in the machine. 7 and the others run to a bridge, and the fabrication monster gets trapped onto the bridge. 6 gets captured by the machine as it falls, and he instructs them to return to the first room to find the source. 1 suggests they destroy the machine, but 9 refuses and leaves. He returns to the room where he woke up and looks around. He finds a box under a paper with his number on it. As he opens it, a holographic display of the scientist appears, and he tells 9 about the fabrication machine and how it's flawed because it lacks a human. He informs 9 that he and the other Stitch Punks are made with pieces of his soul and instructs them to use the talisman to restore life on the planet. The scientist places the last piece of his soul in 9, and he dies. 9 rushes to the others and finds them on the battlefield. He tells the other that they have the scientist's soul and need to retrieve the talisman. 1 refuses and tries to destroy the fabrication machine, but misses his shot. They run into a tunnel as it chases them, and 1 gets injured due to an explosion. 9 decides to sacrifice himself to retrieve the talisman, and as his soul is about to get taken, 1 saves him, and it takes his soul. 9 retrieves the talisman and uses it to destroy the fabrication machine. He informs the others that there's still something they have to do. They set up graves for their fallen brethren, and 9 activates the talisman. Their souls emerge, and the souls stand at their graves. They begin to float and fly into the sky. 7 tells 9 that they're free, and it begins to rain. The raindrops hold microscopic bacteria in them and return life to the planet. The end. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to stay up on videos. We'll see you in the next one.